In this video, we'll be hunting 2 boxes of pennies, as well as seeing if we can make any progress to the Penny Hunt and Fill album. Of course, we'll be looking for any wheat cents from 1958 or older. We'll also be looking for any proofs, foreigns, heirs or varieties, or any other cool things we can find, as well as pulling aside any copper pennies we get, seeing how much we can fill the copper jar. And I have checked for enders for these 2 boxes. We don't have any enders for box 2, but box number 1, we do have a wheat cent ender right there, which is definitely a great sign for the box. So let's start the hunt on penny box number 1, and I'll bring you in on the first find. Just opened roll number 3, and I see the edge of the first wheat cent of the hunt, besides the ender, of course. This one is near the middle of the roll, and I see the reverse of it right here. And the first wheat cent of the hunt is a 1955 out of Denver. Roll 7, and I just uncovered wheat cent number 2 for the hunt. Just a few coins into the roll, and just like the first one, it's another 1955 Denver. Just open the next roll, and I see the edge of wheat cent number 3 just at the beginning of the roll, right here. Hopefully we can get something other than a 1955 out of Denver. It's in pretty nice shape, probably from the 50s, and it is just going to be another 1955 Denver. Just opened roll number 9, and I just did it again. It's been a few months since I found my last one, but I just opened this roll and I see the edge of an Indian headset near the back. This is, I think, my 5th one ever found coin roll hunting. The oldest was in 1883. This one's in pretty decent shape other than some green on it. Let's see what year it's going to be. 1907. 1907 is a very common year for them, but I don't care. It's an Indian headset found, my 5th one ever found coin roll hunting. Have one in the album that I found a few months ago. I think it was 1901. This one's a 1907. 5th ever Indian headset found coin roll hunting. That is an absolutely incredible find. Roll 16 was our wheat cent ender. This is going to be wheat cent number 4 for the box, and of course we have that one Indian. First 3 wheat cents are all 1955 Denvers. This wheat cent ender does look a little bit worn, hoping it's a little bit older. Hopefully it's not another 55 Denver. And it is older, but it's not a 55 Denver, but it's just a 1941 out of Philly. Roll 18, and it's not another wheat cent, but I did just uncover a pretty unique find. It's a 1975 Denver with a couple of counter stamps in it. We have a Liberty Bell on the left and the USA on the right. Pretty sure these are they were sold as bicentennial pennies or something. As you can see, the glue on the back, I think it was glued to some sort of informational paper or something at the time. But either way, counter stamp penny, that's definitely a pretty cool find. Just opened roll 22, and I see the edge of wheat cent number 5, and it looks like it's going to be an old one. It does look pretty worn by the edge. And yeah, it definitely looks like a worn older wheat cent. Hopefully it's one we can use for the album. And I think it is. 1921 is not a year you see too often. And yeah, we definitely need a 1921 for the album. Only 39 million minted of the Philly, 15 million of the S, no Denvers, but we got a 21 Philly, only 39 million minted. Pretty rare find. Don't know if I've ever found a 1921 cent coin roll hunting. Plus, it's actually in pretty decent shape for the age. 1921 wheat cent found, going in the album. That is another amazing find along with the Indian head cent. Roll 44, we're finally going to have another find. The second half of this box just completely turned off from the hot start, but still going to be a good box anyways for sure with those couple finds right there. But we're finally going to have another wheat cent, just uncovered it, a few coins into the roll. This is going to make wheat cent number 6 for the hunt, and it's a 1945 out of Philly. The same roll, and we're actually going to have another wheat cent in this roll, so we had all those rolls with nothing, and a roll with 2 wheat cents. This is going to be this number 7 for the box, and it's a 1953 from Philly. Just finished hunting box number 1, and even though the quantity of finds wasn't the best with only 7 wheat cents, the quality of the finds just made it an absolutely a great box. Of course, we got my 5th ever Indian head cent found, being in 1907, decent shape. Super happy to find that. Any box with an Indian head cent is just automatically a great box. And plus, we also got that 1921 Philly, which is going to be an album edition. So 2 great finds for the box, even though the box didn't have a ton of finds. Still definitely an awesome box with those 2 finds right there. Did get a few modern Canadians as well, and that counter stamp penny, which was pretty cool, and a couple 1960 small dates. So overall, of course, with those 2 finds again, great first box to start the hunt. So now, let's go on to box number 2. Maybe we can find some more oldies, maybe another Indian head set if we're really lucky. So, I'll bring you in on the first find of box number 2. Roll 4 is going to have the first find of the second box, and it is going to be the first wheat cent of the box. Just uncovered it, and it's a 1950, minted in Denver. Just opened roll 10, and I see the edge of wheat cent number 2 for box 2 near the beginning of the roll, right here. And the second wheat cent for the second box is a 1953 from San Francisco. Roll 14, and I just uncover the third wheat cent of this box, and it's going to be an oldie. Did just uncover it, and it is a 1930 out of Philly. Not in too bad of shape for being a 1930 as well. Did check the album when I saw it. We do have a 1930, but the 1930 we have is definitely in pretty rough shape, so this is definitely going to upgrade at least. So it's not an addition, but it is an upgrade. 1930 out of Philly, third oldie of the box. That's awesome. Roll 26, and we're going to have wheat cent number 4 for box 2. Did just uncover it. It's another one from the 50s. This one is a 1954 out of Denver. Just open the next roll. We're going to have 2 rolls in a row with a wheat cent in this box because I did just open this roll. I do see the edge of another wheat cent right there. Barely caught it because it's corroded, but still is going to be wheat cent number 5. And it is a 1950 out of Denver. Roll 45, we're finally going to have another find. The box definitely cooled down for quite a few rolls, but we are going to have another wheat cent. I did just open this roll, and I see the reverse right there. So even though this box is not going to have a ton of wheat cents, we did at least get one oldie for the box, and it's going to be an upgrade. But this wheat cent is a 1945 from Denver. Both penny boxes have been hunted, so let's go over the finds. We ended up with 17 1959s, 23 estimates, and only 17 2009s. There was a lot of older coins in this box and not many newer ones, so that's probably why we didn't get many 2009s. Foreigns, we end up with 8, with all of them being Canadian, all just modern Canadians, ranging from 1966 to 2003, but we'll definitely take that. Did have 2 1960D small dates for the hunt as well, in pretty decent shape. That one miscellaneous counter stamp coin is pretty cool. 1975 Denver with some bicentennial themed counter stamps on it. Even have some glue and paper on the back from when it was glued to some sort of informational paper. Definitely a pretty cool find. Get one of those every once in a while. Now for the wheat cents, the quantity wasn't great, but the quality was pretty good. We only ended up with 13 wheat cents for the hunt. But out of those 13 wheat cents, we did get 2 oldies. 1930 out of Philly and 1921 out of Philly. 1921 is going to be an addition, and I'm pretty sure the 1930 is going to upgrade. So with some album progress, I'll definitely take it, even though we didn't get many wheat cents. I'll definitely take quality over quantity any day, especially with the next find. 1907 Indian head cent. My 5th ever Indian head cent found coiner hunting. It's actually in pretty decent shape. You can kind of see some letters in Liberty, although it does have some corrosion on it. Still is an absolutely amazing find whenever you can find an Indian head cent in a box, even though it didn't come with many wheat cents. Definitely the best find of the hunt there. Now lastly for copper, we did super well for the 2 boxes, almost filled the copper jar. As I said, there are a lot of older coins in these boxes, and that definitely showed with the copper. A lot of really nice coins from the 70s and 80s in there as well, showing that this batch was probably out of a change jar from decades ago. So overall, super great hunt. The quantity wasn't great, as I said, but the quality definitely makes up for it. And then some, with some really nice oldies and amazing Indian head cent. So I know we're going to have some album progress. Let me check that now, see how much album progress we made, and I'll bring you back with an update of the album. Just finished updating the album, and even though we only found 13 wheat cents in the hunt, we made some amazing album progress. We ended up with 1 addition and 4 upgrades for the album, which is super awesome this far in the series. The 1 addition, as expected, was the 1921 out of Philly. Only 39 million minted. 1921 is definitely a tough year to find. It might be the first 1921 I've ever found in a box, which is super awesome. Now for the 4 upgrades. First is, of course, the 1930, which we expected because I looked in the album and the one before was pretty corroded. Definitely a great upgrade there. And the other 3 upgrades were in the memorial sense. As I said, there are a lot of older coins and a lot of nicer ones from the 60s, 70s, 80s. We did upgrade the 1963 out of Denver, the 1968 out of Philly, and lastly, the 1977 out of Philly. So the memorial sense are looking slightly nicer, although most of the ones we have are already pretty nice BU examples. Still good to upgrade a few. And I also decided to slot the Indian headset in the album. It's the second one we found in the series. The first was at 1901, now we have that 1907. One more spot to put an Indian in the series. Hopefully we'll find another one soon. Super fun to find an Indian headset. That just made the whole hunt an awesome hunt. And overall, with the Indian headset and a couple of oldies, this was an awesome 2-box penny hunt.